Hello, 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 my friends. How are you? Lori here with Interior Jewels. I hope everyone is well, and thank you for joining me today. I am going to be doing a grapevine wreath. I have all of my florals. Today is going to be a pink wreath. And actually, my inspiration for this was because I always start off with something that inspires me besides those pretty flowers. But this greenery, these leaves that have the pink in it, I'm loving these. So I am going to get started on this. I'm going to take my leaves off the bush, and I am going to cut these in pieces. And I will start by making my base. Really, look at how pretty those leaves are. Something a little bit different. This can be an all year round wreath. This can be a spring summer wreath. This is a great gift from Mom. I'm just loving these leaves. I am excited. Again, I cut all of these off the branches. I'm going to smooth them out a little bit so we can really see the color on them. And I glue each of my stems, which go directly into the grapevine. Sometimes you have grapevines that are more loosely constructed. Sometimes you have a very tight one that makes it a little bit more difficult to get stems in. You just got to work with it. Grapevines are my favorite wreaths to work on. I started way back when in doing mesh wreaths. Looking back, I don't think I was very good at that. But that is where I started. But I love working with florals and ribbons. Of course, you have to have grape bows. At least that's where I come from. Sometimes these leaves come off. A little dab of glue. We'll get that right back on. Let's see if we can fix this. Need my glasses for this. You know what? It doesn't have a stem. And that's okay. I'm not going to waste any of the leaves. I'm still going to use this leaf. Since I have one of these, I'm going to have this coming down this way so we get some on the inside. And I'll use this one on the top. I'm going for a crescent shape, so I will have all of my florals on one side. This greenery is just so pretty and so different. I'm going to add some all greenery as well. I have a selection of greenery here. This is a 14-inch grapevine base that I am working with. But by the time that I am done with the design, as you can see how far out the leaves go outside of that. So it winds up being a much larger wreath. So a 14-inch is fine to work with because it will be bigger in the ends. And I just love building on the design. And within these leaves, I'm going to start with this as my base of leaves. Then I am going to go in between these with other greenery. Then I will add my floral blooms. Always dealing with glue strings when you work with a glue gun. I do have my glue pot here. To be honest, I am so used to working with my glue gun. Let's see. Let me try my glue pot. I'm going to get some going up in this direction as well. And I'm just going to get another one there on top. Then I will basically have my crescent shape. That becomes my base, and I will just build off of that. I'm going to put this right in the middle. And then I'll get one going here. It's all about balance. And I am so excited to work with pink. I haven't done a pink design in quite some time. I've done a lot of yellows and blues and patriotics lately, that I am excited to work on something pink. There we go. I have my base of those. Now I am going to add some of this ficus. I love using ficus in a wreath. It has great shape, great form, and again, gives a beautiful base. This is how the stems start, and I cut off each individual piece. And it just gives a very graceful shape. And you can see how I am inserting them in between these other leaves. So it's going to give me a fullness. I like my wreaths to be full and chock full of a variety of greenery as well as blooms. It makes it look more high-end, more appealing. I'm gonna get the glue stuck to my my nails. That's okay, just so long as I don't get any burns. Hot glue gun burns are not fun. They're definitely not fun. Add some of this on the inside. Keep going. Ficus is also inexpensive, so it's a great filler for wreaths. It also comes in a beautiful variegated shape too. But I like the green with this because these leaves have so much pink in them, which I'm loving. Okay, some more of my ficus here. More at the ends. Allergies seem to be getting the best of me. I've never had a problem with allergies before, but it's springtime here in New York, and everything is blooming. Or certain trees are, anyway. It's too soon for us to do our flowers outside yet. Still too cool. We have to wait until after Mother's Day to do that. Okay, so as you can see, I have a fairly good base going here. Now, before I go any further, and before I add my blooms, I am going to add my bow, because I don't want to cover any of the florals with my bow, so I like to have my bow in place and then do my florals around it. I have some gorgeous ribbons here. This 4-inch ribbon that has, it's a very light baby pink with a iridescent gold on it. I also have a pink and white stripe. I'm seeing my glue strings. And then I have a little deeper shade of pink. I may put in this tiny little gold one too. We'll see how this goes. So to start my wreath, I start with a loop and hold it up to see what size loop I want. That looks perfect. And that is almost a 7-inch loop. So once I have that, this is just so luxurious. I'm loving this ribbon. Put one big loop of that. So that's what I have so far. Yeah, this is really gonna make it. Now, just on top of it, I'm not gonna do another loop. I'm going to do just tails to show a little bit more of this fabric, because it really is gorgeous. Then I am gonna go with my thinner ribbons. You know what? I'll go with the darker one first, the darker on the lighter. And I make these loops a little bit smaller than the loops that are behind them, so all of the fabric of all of the ribbons show properly. I just like to hold my tails up to make sure that I am getting proper size. I'm going to do a few loops of this. This is a little bit of a deeper pink, almost like a mauve-y. So on top of this very light pink underneath, it really stands out. Obviously, pink is the theme of this, so I've coordinated all of my ribbons that will go together nicely. And I'm going to put baby pink and white stripe on top. I just want to make sure that this is laying properly. Okay. Now I will go with this ribbon. Again, I'm going a little bit smaller than the loops that are behind it. Oh, this is so feminine. I'm loving this pink. My ribbon is curling here. And again, I just try and place my loops where I want them. Keep fluffing it out. And I think I will add this little bit of golds in the center. Which ties into the gold that is in this ribbon in the back. A little sparkle. Such a pretty bow. Then to tie this off, I am going to put will not be even. And you don't want that to happen. And before I pull this all the way tight, I am going to insert another zip tie, because that's how I'm going to attach it to the wreath. Now I can pull this tight, snip off the ends, and again, fluff this up. This 4-inch ribbon is just gorgeous. I'm gonna insert that over here. So now I just gotta feed this through, and sometimes you have to maneuver bear with me while I feed this through. Area wasn't working. And sometimes it's more difficult than others. Come on. Okay. Before I start tightening this, I just want to make sure that I have it where I want it. Then I can start tightening it. Pull it really tight so that's not going anywhere. Let me cut off the end of this. Make sure it doesn't fall off the stand. And you can see all these pretty loops in here. My little gold sparkle. I'm just going to dovetail the ends of these and finish off these tails. I like to do that once it's on the wreath. This way I know if I need to go shorter or if they stay longer. I like to do it once it is positioned on the wreath. gonna give an angle cut. He's standing up. Yeah, I think we got all the tails. Now you can see how much real estate that bow has taken up. So imagine if I had put all of my florals on there. I may run the risk of covering those florals. And I want each of these elements to stand out on their own. I certainly don't want to cover my beautiful bow, and I don't want to cover gorgeous florals either. So I'm going to start. I have hydrangea here, and I have these beautiful ranunculus, and you can see the different shades of pink. And I also have some other more textural things. These are more wispy, kind of. I love the texture of these. And I also have these fun things. Talk about lots of texture. This is what's going to add so much interest. But I'm going to start with my biggest florals first. So let me cut these off. And I know I'm going to put one right there. I'm also going to put one up here. Again, I look for balance in this. If I can keep the leaves, I keep the leaves. And if I can't, and I need it to go shorter, I will still, if I have to cut this off, I will still keep these leaves because they can be incorporated in here just as leaves. And I think it's long enough to leave it on. Or even if I wasn't using it, the leaves in this wreath, I still hold on to those leaves that could be used in other projects. So now I'm going to get one going over here. I always start with 3's odd numbers. See the perfect place that I have to be able to put that in there. And again, I really don't want to hide my ribbon or my florals. I have 3 going. I have 5 of these. I'm going to use all 5. I'm going to put one up here and one down here. And then I will start filling in with the other items. See, now this I may want a little bit taller to stand over. I'm going to leave that leaf on. And that just peeks out next to that tail. And then I'm going to put the last one down here at the bottom. That there. And again, sometimes you really have to fight with these if you have a tighter weave grapevine.
Hello.
There we go. Perfect. So now that I have the major blooms in, I'm going to add these more delicate ones. These ranunculus are so pretty. So pretty. And they're a little bit more wispy, if you will. Which I kind of like. And there's some other greenery in here with these two, and I may incorporate that as well. This stem is a little, well, let's see how it works. There we go. And see how they just flop? I'm adding dimension. These are coming out much further in the wreath than the hydrangea are. Just see them peeking through. These are just so pretty. I'm loving them. And some of them are double stems, which is pretty too. And then I want some droop here at the bottom. So I'm going to add that in over here. Oh, out of glue. Need another glue stick. I feel like this ranunculus is a little bit of a wildflower feel. Just so pretty. I just want a couple around here. Get out a few more of these. I want a longer stem on these. Let's see. Yeah, I'm coming that way. And sometimes before I put my glue on, I'll just place the flower where I think I want it to go to see if it really works there. If not, I haven't glued it in, and it gives me an opportunity to try it in another location. One hanging there, so we're gonna put one there as well. Isn't this pink such a pretty color? I love it. I love it. One more I'm going to put here, and then I think I have pretty good balance with this. There we go. Just keep fluffing my bow, because you tend to mess it up as you're putting the florals in. Okay, so now, you know what? I have the greenery left on this bush from these ranunculus, and I am going to use it. Trying to get the price sticker off this stem. Ugh. Price stickers are my pet peeve. Again, I love the wispiness of this. Another color, another texture. Because everything is on wire stems, you can sort of bend them the way that you want them to go. A few more of those here. We'll put one in there. All right, now I'm going to start with some of these. These are great, wispy, and again, each stem has a lot on it, so I will break each stem into 2 pieces. And have 2 pieces. This is going to add a lot of texture as well, and yet another color of pink. Oh. Just bent that stem. I'm trying to get that all the way in. Okay. There we go. Perfect. And see now where I added this one, I'm going to add on the other side as well. I want to make sure that I add to the middle as well, so they're coming out this way as well as this way. Cut another stem off that I'm going to cut in 2. That's something else to take into consideration when you're shopping for your floral bushes. Are they pushers, meaning that the leaves and the florals could be pushed up to the end of the stem? Are they long enough that perhaps you can cut each stem into 2 pieces? And how many stems per bush? That's always important too. Okay, now we're going to get some going off the ends. Get some, and you can see how the size of this has grown from that 14-inch frame. Here. Cut off another stem, cut this in 2. I'm going to get some up here behind this bow. Keep going behind the bow and work my way down. Now right here, I thought I had another one. Here we go. This is a shorter one, so I'm going to put this over here. The longer one go over here. more over here. And you can see how beautiful this has filled in. And I'm straighten out my bow here so I can okay, now the other fun things I have are these. I don't know what these are called. I don't think it says a name on them either. Pom-pom rose. I think I've seen things like this that are called Billy Bobs. I never know all the names of the flowers, and that's okay. I just know that it's the color, the texture that I want. This has a metal thing around it that I'm trying to get off. Oh. Okay. These were made into like a bouquet, so they had a metal ring around them and rope. I wanted to get them separate. So now you can see on each stem that there's 3 of them. I am going to cut them off individually. And we're going to stick these around. And the texture of them is just so cool. Okay, another stem, I'm going to cut off each individual. Put some over here. Where do we want them over here? Get some right here. I'm going to stand some up there, so I'll leave that a longer stem. Then get a long stem again. I want that peeking out the top behind those hydrangea. And I generously glue so I know that my stems aren't going anywhere. A couple more on the bottom here. Put some over here. Good. And you can see how much texture that has added. So now I have a few spots here that I'm just looking to add a little bit of greenery. So I'm going to add a little bit of softness with this greenery that has a very drooping shape to it. Again, another color green. Just adds that little bit of graceful drape. And these are pushers, like what I was telling you before. These can be pushed up to the end, which is what I wanted. It gives me a bigger stem to insert into my grapevine, and all my greenery is at the end. I'm trying to pull off the glue string that I see here. Just want a little piece of this draping from the bottom here. I'm going to put one draping at the top. I'm going to push them up to the end. Stunning. I only have 2 more stems on this, so I am going to use it all. Again with my price tag. Okay, that one came off fairly easy. Sometimes they stick to it and they're hard to get off. Okay. Go on. I don't feel like I got a good... There we go. There. And I'm going to put one right here. Let's see if that's a good spot. Yes. Sometimes I decide on my spot, I step back and I lose where my spot was. Okay. I have, sometimes I just keep going. I have a little bit of this eucalyptus. Again, I love the color of it, the shape of it, the softness of it. I'm just going to add in a couple of pieces. Just a couple of pieces here and there. Trying to figure out where. Right there is good. Don't want to hide my little pom-pom flowers. And I think that we are filling in beautifully. I would like to see perhaps a few little pieces of greenery. Let me just see something. Going between the loops of my bow here. Let's see how we can do that. There we go. Just have them flutter. I have a few more of those. Get between my bow, which means I'm gonna refluff my bow again. But that's okay. I probably do that at least 10 times while constructing a wreath. I'm gonna do one more under here. And we should be good. I'm gonna leave that attached. Get some greenery going in here. Way up under here. I don't want this piece in there. I think I like that piece sticking out that far, so we can always snip that off. And just let me refluff this bow now, and then I think that this baby is done. What do you think? I'm loving her. Loving her, loving her. You're right. Well, I thank you so much for joining me while I was creating this pink beauty. If you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up here and subscribe to my channel so that I can continue to put out more content like this. I greatly appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I'm happy to answer those for you. Alrighty? Thank you so much and have a great day.